Thank you, Sheila. Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us today and for being part of our wonderful community. I do want to thank Dr. Lisa Williams from Tri-C and her whole Tri-C team for their sponsorship today, as well as partnering with us on so many important activities and events here in Euclid. One of the projects that Tri-C helped make happen was our recent Freshwater Cleveland On the Ground Euclid series. So I don't know how many people saw or followed the Freshwater Cleveland On the Ground Euclid articles. Many of you saw them. If you haven't, I really want to encourage you to take a look at the Freshwater series. And this was made, Freshwater is an e-news magazine. It comes out once a week. And it really focuses on the people, the places, and the projects that are transforming our communities. This was a specific highlight on the city of Euclid, and articles were on the way some of our buildings have changed. For example, HGR and Able Rents, the way the new early learning center of Euclid schools and how Euclid schools are working to transform to an 18-hour campus. Of course, our waterfront and Amazon, but also individuals making a difference like Mike Fisner, who the Chamber is recognizing for helping to turn renters into homeowners and really changing the way that we look at real estate. And so the articles were the result of a partnership of Euclid Schools, of Tri-C, and of the County Board of Health in the city of Euclid, working with Freshwater to really bring about the important news. The series was capped, the final event was a storytelling event. And a storytelling night happened at Euclid Library. And it included stories from 4 of our residents, and residents who have lived here and their families were here all of their life, to newer residents who moved here after college because they loved the lake. And all 4 of the residents represented many different aspects of what makes up our community and had several elements or themes that were common among them. Really how the community has helped them, how they give back to the community, and the sense of pride that was displayed through these stories really kind of prompted me to, as I'm looking at last year and what we're doing this year, I wanted to share with you really some of the things, some of the reasons we all have to be proud to be part of the city of Euclid. I am so proud to be the mayor. This is a city I've lived in just about my entire life. My parents grew up here, my grandparents lived here, my great-grandfather lived here. And so for me, the history of Euclid, the commitment that I had growing up through school in Euclid, being part of a faith community here in Euclid, working in Euclid at a nonprofit organization has led me to, really in many ways what is a dream job, working for, serving the community that I love. And so the stories that we tell are impactful, and the stories that you all share with each other, with your customers, with your clients, or with the residents, your neighbors that you know, are helping us to build a strong and vibrant community. And so I wanted to take just a few minutes to share with you, I think, some of the reasons we all should be proud. Now, of course, I don't do this alone. I've got a great team of people. I want to start by introducing, we have a number of our city council members here. Council President Charlene Mancuso is here. Ward 2 Councilman Brian Moore. Ward 7 Councilwoman, one of our newer councilwomen, Maria Jukic, is here. And a great team of staff. And I'll probably introduce them through the course of the presentation. But for those of you who work for the city of Euclid, if you could stand up just for a minute and be recognized. The work that they do every day to help build a strong community is really tremendous, and so I do want to thank them. So here we go, the top 10 reasons. I think I'm really, part of one of the things we're proud of is the repairs that we've made to our infrastructure. So as an aging community, certainly there's needs in that area. But last year we completed the total reconstruction of East 222nd Street, funded primarily through grants, which is wonderful. Thanks to the assistance from the county, we were able to see roadway improvements around Amazon, really making way so that the trucks and employees and people can get around better. Starting some reconstruction on our side streets. Monterey will be reconstructed, sewers, water lines, full street replacement. And then we have future funding announced for Euclid Avenue, half of Euclid Avenue, East 185th Street, which I know Euclid Hospital will be thrilled to hear, and East 200th Street. And one of the things we're also really excited about is with the gas tax increase, we will now be able to start doing some reconstruction of our side streets. And so that, I think, will help in a number of ways to improve our community. Really one of the areas that we should be very proud of is the improvements being made to our wastewater treatment or water reclamation facility. This is at 222nd and Lakeshore Boulevard. The work that's happening there is a conversion to a biomembrane technology treatment system. It will be the largest hollow fiber biomembrane technology installation in North America. So really making great strides and setting the precedent for how we treat and how we clean our water. So I do want to congratulate and thank our service director, Dan Connect, and his whole team who do a wonderful job. They've also made some great strides and improvements this year with leaf collection. So we were able to get some new leaf collection equipment that was replacing, I believe, some equipment that was first came to us in the 1950s. So some major improvements in our infrastructure. Number 9, we are proud every day of the work that the staff at City Hall do, but we've made some great strides in providing sound financial management, and that's so important to our taxpayers. Our finance director, James Smith, and a number of his staff are here today. They received the Auditor's Award of Excellence, and I think that's many years in a row for the great work in keeping the books. We joined Open Checkbook, which is a program through the Ohio Treasurer's Office last year, so that residents can get on and look up everything we're spending and how we're spending your taxpayer dollars. Some improvements that make a difference for us and for our residents: new phones at City Hall, upgrading computers across the city, and then really working hard to identify and grow new revenue sources. So we're seeing some increase in income tax due to new jobs coming in. Again, the gas tax that I mentioned, and with some changes at the state level, some small growth in the local government fund. So appreciate the hard work that helps make all the other services happening, making sure we are providing sound financial management. One of the great ways that we show pride is in beautifying our community. And so we have many efforts underway that have happened last year and continue into this year to make sure we're improving the community and the way it looks. We were able to plant more than 1,000 trees over the last 4 years. And in fact, another source of pride, one of 2 communities in Cuyahoga County that actually grew our tree canopy over the last several years. And we're fortunate to have a new grant from the county to continue to manage and grow our tree canopy. We have a volunteer group, Keep Euclid Beautiful, that works hard throughout the community to not only do community cleanups, but beautification projects. They started a project this year to recognize beautiful homes and people who take care of their yards. And so they started a program to recognize those people. And we appreciate many of you and your businesses being part of that. So helping to plant, BWXT helping with the Buddy Bench at Our Lady of the Lake and planting trees, and so many of you who do cleanup projects around your business. It is noticed and it is making a difference. We saw some new murals, so trying to beautify a new mural in downtown, the Euclid bike rack, and really the effort to plant flowers, to add benches and garbage containers so that we are improving the look of our streets across the city. Number 7 area that I think we all should be proud of is the progress that we're making in improving our housing stock. Again, 8 years in a row, Euclid has seen growth in our property values. The county reassessment that happened last year, Euclid saw the highest rate of growth in East Side cities, only behind 3 West Side cities, Bay Village, Rocky River, and Lakewood. Euclid was the highest on the east side. So we're thrilled with the work that's happening to grow our housing stock. We have developed some new partnerships to provide service to our residents who may need help with housing, and that's Cleveland Housing Network has offices right in City Hall. We continue to work with the Heritage Home Program and others to support our housing stock. I want to acknowledge our Law Director, Kelly Sweeney, and my assistant, Crystal Greta, and Jim Cuardi, who's here, the housing manager, for the hard work they do through the law department, taking care of and addressing through the prosecutor's office those who are not keeping up their homes, but also then the great work of our inspectors to make sure that the homes are being improved. We've seen increased permits, so both on the residential and commercial side, and I want to introduce and thank Steve Vogel, who is our chief building official, working with us through Safe Built, has done a great job to really make it easier for our businesses, for our residents, to do improvements on their home. And for the first time in a while, we're seeing some new housing starts, and that's really great to see, because not only does it show investment in the community, but it helps to raise the property values of those who live around and provide new housing options for people who want a newer housing style. One of the stories that was told through the freshwater story was of Mike Fisner. And one of the storytellers, and sorry, Pam, if you don't, I hope you don't mind me saying this, was working with the refugee family who Mike was able, I believe Mike was the realtor, was able to connect. So a refugee family that moved here, and the two sons were able to buy their mother their first home here in Euclid. And so she is thrilled. It's a great story of someone who came to America, now has a home of her own for the first time through the support of her sons, and is thrilled to be here in the city of Euclid. And Mike was able to make that happen with some hard work and a creative way of looking at real estate. So Pam, I appreciate you sharing that story, and we really are thrilled to welcome them to the city of Euclid. As we talk about pride, and as we, what are we proud of? What do you talk about when you talk about your community? And we really want to make sure people have a high quality of life. And so we've worked hard to make sure there's, we've improved our facilities, and under the direction of Recreation Director Max Stevens, we've seen improvements of the tennis courts. So new tennis courts and pickleball courts, if anyone wants lunchtime little activity. The baseball fields were upgraded last year. The basketball courts resurfaced. Thanks to the schools, we have a nice walking path through Memorial Park. We brought new events, and so wanting to meet the needs of our residents and give them the opportunity to come together to meet other residents. And so a summer camp that was available for the first time for the kids. City Hall Academy, welcoming residents in to learn more about what happens on a day-to-day basis. The Art Walk, Senior Center, new programming and new grants at the Senior Center to provide new services. So we're really working hard to make sure people can be proud of the community they live in, and that they can, take part in events and activities, be it recreation, be it movie nights, and just opportunities to celebrate the wonderful things that we have here in Euclid. We certainly are all proud of our fire department, and Chief Haddock is here. I appreciate the leadership that Chief Haddock has provided to our fire department. Once again, a record number of calls for service last year, over 11,000 calls for service. And so the dedication and the hard work of our firefighters every day to keep us safe, keep your businesses safe, we really appreciate. And so we've been able to modernize or upgrade our equipment. Last year, a new command vehicle. We have a new ambulance that should be here, I think, this week, that was ordered last year. Really a dedication to training, new cardiac monitors for the fire department. And then one of the projects that the chief has been working on, and really with our council president Mancuso's support and encouragement, is working to be Ready Certified. And so that's a program through the county that certifies the city agencies in emergency preparedness. And so the chief, after many years of working towards that, this year we were able to be officially Ready Certified. Working with the police department, we provided an active shooter training in City Hall, and willing to work with other companies and institutions to make sure we are all safe. And then a small piece that goes back to the beautification is the chief really took the lead to upgrade or to repaint some of our fire hydrants. And I know now that I've mentioned that, you'll notice some of the fire hydrants are really in terrible shape. So we have a plan in place to improve those through the next 4 years, little by little. So small things, but something we can be proud of. And certainly our police department, and Chief Scott Meyer and Captain Mitch Hauser are here. Kate McLaughlin was here. They work hard every day, and I'm proud of the dedication and the service that they provide to our community. We were able to hire new officers last year, bring them on, and we are working very hard to continue to strengthen our police force. Last year in promotions, we know how important it is to have a police force that represents and looks like our community. So we've worked hard and made some strides, not enough, but we've made some positive efforts and strides, results towards diversifying our police force. Last year with the promotions that we were able to do, we have our first female lieutenant, Donna Holden, and we have our first African-American Sergeant, Vashawn Williams. And then we've been able to add diversity to our police officers. So we really are dedicated to doing that and working hard to make sure our police force represents our community. The police have gone through are continuously going through training, but brought in some new training that really helped them better work with our community. And I appreciate the continued efforts to make that happen. Looking at using new technology and how do we use technology to better put ourselves in position to address crime. And then, of course, the continued commitment to community engagement, being part of partnerships, special task force that have really identified and worked hard to around drug interdiction and addressing some violent crimes. So I appreciate the chief's leadership in being part of some of those task forces. This was a press conference with the Attorney General's office that really made a big dent in the opioid, people who were active with the opioids. And when I talk about our community engagement, the police department continues to win special awards for their efforts, whether it's the Ohio Crime Prevention Association, the AAA Platinum Award, I think 4 or 5 years in a row as the top agency. And then some examples of the new programs that they were able to create this year. A Euclid Crime Prevention Mini Conference, a basketball tournament that was done in partnership with the library, where they partnered the esports inside the library and then a 3-on-3 basketball tournament outside. The Euclid Blueprint, which is really a way to get young people, teaching them mentoring and life skills and providing them with skills to be successful. And then the National Night Out and other events that you and your businesses are so supportive of, and really we could not do without you. So we appreciate your continued work to help keep us all safe. And thank you to the police department for their wonderful work. So the Chamber of Commerce, one of the things I really want to focus on, and I've got a few slides for what I think we all are proud about, is how we've grown our economy. And this is really in great part due to all of you and your efforts and your continued commitment to our community. We've seen some new retail this past year: O'Reilly's Auto Parts, JB Barbershop, Omni Game Parlor, Dollar General. Dollar General, and I want to acknowledge the group from HGR. Ron Tiedman is here, and Brian was here, but it looks like may have had to leave. They've continued to invest. This is the old GM Inland plant on Euclid Avenue, and they've invested over the last several years probably upwards of $10 million, maybe more, to improve that building. And so they were able to provide space in front of their building for the new Dollar General, which helped provide them with some additional support, but they continue to make upgrades to their building, right now working to redo the whole front of their building. And if you have not been there, the Northeast Ohio Sports Plan is in the back, and Carvana continues to grow. We welcome National Strategic Group, and Eugene Schatzman is here with his wife. Eugene, if you want to stand up or wave. Welcome to Euclid. Eugene is the president or owner of National Strategic Group, and they are a digital marketing firm, and they moved to Euclid. We met with him last year, and he made the decision to move to Euclid bought the Omni building. So many of you are familiar with the Omni building on Euclid Avenue, and redid the whole second floor, which previously had been fire damaged, for their offices. And so we're going to go out next week and visit. And he continues to work to improve and bring other tenants to that building. Happy to be in Euclid, and we're very happy to have you here. So thank you, and we look forward to your continued growth. Pension Benefit Guarantee Corporation is in the old Rockwell building on Euclid Avenue. And this was a group that is merging 4 of their sites that were around the country here to the city of Euclid. They continue to grow. Minuteman Staffing and Loomis is a design build firm, and I think we have representatives from Loomis here. Thank you for your hard work. So they worked with the city with our storefront renovation program, and we are thrilled and have worked with many companies and many businesses here in the city of Euclid. So we're thrilled to see your continued investment on 222nd Street, and a great example of how we can partner with you to improve your building through our storefront renovation program. So we appreciate we're happy to welcome the new businesses. Bluestone Business Park continues to show great progress, and as you know, last year the 3rd building was built. Lincoln Electric moved into the 3rd building, which is their new additive welding division. We had the chance to go out and visit them and learn more about additive welding and what their plans are for that building, so another great story for Bluestone Business Park. The 4th building is being built and is spec, so it's available. And I know Bruce is here from Global Realty, so I know they're working hard to sell available or lease available space. I don't know if they're working with Bluestone, but there's a building available, and we're seeing great interest in moving and being part of that. The big story, one of the big stories that will be opening, we're looking forward to this year, is Consolidated Precision Products. So the 130 Bluestone ended up building Bluestone 6. So the Consolidated Precision Products will be moving in. I think the building's just about complete and moving in this year. So we are certainly appreciative of the hard work that FOG is doing, and really happy to see the continued growth at Bluestone Business Park. And I also want to acknowledge and thank our existing businesses for their work and continued expansion here in our city. Euclid Hospital opened their new senior behavioral health unit, which represented a $3 million investment in their building, Euclid Hospital, and our community. We're thrilled to welcome their new president, Dr. Teresa Dews, and welcome to the Euclid Hospital family that's here. Tri-C, as we mentioned earlier, their innovation center was in the old Heritage Business Park, but bought their own building and moved over, renovated, and expanded. And so providing not only that additional investment, but new programs, and again, the stories. So a resident who went through the truck driving school and now is gainfully employed, supporting himself and his family. And that all started by going through the truck driving school at Tri-C. And so another great example of growing business that supports our residents and their ability to have a high quality of life. American Punch expanded again. BWXT is in the middle of another expansion. Tervase, Hosemaster, and many other small organizations. Greg Castillo is here, H&W Tool. He tells me today they're going to expand adding another 7,500 square feet. And so we're really proud of the work that our businesses are doing. We're proud to see the continued expansion, and really happy to work with you to help grow your business. And I do want to acknowledge Jonathan Holliday, the Director of Planning and Development, and many of his members of his staff are here who work hard and are here to support you. So please reach out, let us know how we can partner with you. And when we talk about our business expansion, I don't want to leave out our institutions. And so we have many community institutions that also are investing in themselves and in our community. St. Robert and Williams renovated some space, but added some new community space to better serve the community. Amani Church, that was on 260th, is staying on 260th, but acquired the old St. Christine's property on East 222nd Street, and will be expanding and growing their presence presence here in the community. And of course, the Euclid schools. And so, in the fall, the schools, this has been a many-year plan. In the fall, the schools were able to open their Early Learning Center, which is a fabulous program for 3, 4, and 5-year-olds in Kindergarten Village, and provides the only preschool fab lab, I believe, in the country at the moment. And so a really true source of pride for our community. And then I'm sure everyone is aware of the construction of the new high school, middle school. And so we had the opportunity last week to go through the building, and I will say it is truly impressive and really will offer our students, our Euclid students, wonderful opportunities, not only academically, but in terms of working towards jobs in the future, job readiness, work readiness, but also a campus that will be open and available to the community. And so I really appreciate the continued investment by our community in our schools and our community institutions. I think, one of the areas that not only am I tremendously proud of, and we at the city, but we're seeing interest from across not only the area, but really the country, of what we're doing with our Lakefront Trail. If you have not been down recently, please take a walk down to Sims Park and see the trail that is actually, the first phase now is substantially complete. So really people are watching what we're doing here to learn from, and we're hearing about erosion across the Great Lakes, and people are looking for ways, what we have done, not only to provide erosion control, but to provide unprecedented access to the lake. And so when we talk about what we're proud of and talk about what makes Euclid unique, I think the lakefront is probably our greatest asset. And so to be able to see this project coming to fruition and to be able to continue it through this year really is a wonderful thing. And I do want to thank and acknowledge Allison Lucasy-Love, who is our project manager overseeing the project, and really has helped us bring this project together. It has taken multiple partners, multiple funding sources. I think many people thought it could not be done, and to walk down and to be able to walk along the waterfront is truly a tremendous thing. And so I'm thrilled to say we've received FEMA funding for the next phase in part, so we are waiting for decision from the state capitol that would complete our funding. We are part of the Metro Parks Lake Erie Water Trail Designation application, which would look to create a trail in the water across all of Cuyahoga County. And then, as I said, the eyes are on Euclid, and so people are watching. The county executive recently called our plan a model for his county-wide vision. And so for now, the Cuyahoga County, NOACA, which is the Northeast Ohio Area Coordinating Agency, is looking at a multi-county plan to really build off of what the city of Euclid is able to demonstrate through this project along the whole shoreline. And so we're really thrilled. We were recognized as Vibrant Neo with their Champion Awards. And as I said, the County Executive Budish says this is a great framework to replicate across the lakefront. So as the county and as the region looks to build upon that, we're really proud that this is happening right here in Euclid. And then, of course, when I think about what we have to be proud of in 19 and as we go forward is the opening of Amazon. And I think we all know what that was before. It was a blighted mall. We were able to tear that down and make way for the new Amazon Fulfillment Center. And this represents a $250 million investment in our community. Not only that, it represents 2,000 jobs. And again, that's more than what was originally proposed, so it's really a great thing both for the city and the schools, brings in income tax, but provides our residents with jobs and opportunities to better themselves, to buy a home, to support themselves and their family and be involved in the community. So we're really thrilled and working to make sure that we continue to catalyze that. So we have seen, our businesses have seen increased traffic to them. The gas stations, the drugstores, the restaurants have seen increased growth. we've seen, and we're working with Amazon to be able to provide some programs to you, to some of the smaller businesses, to learn how to use e-commerce and how can having an Amazon here help you provide your business in a better way. And then, of course, it also proved to be a stimulus for other development. And so we have an exciting project just south of Amazon. Iron Hawk will be moving over from 222nd and renovating the whole building behind. They're in front, will be in front of our architecture review board at their next meeting. So, and then some other development and businesses coming in because they're spurred by Amazon. And so we're really thrilled to welcome them and hope and work with them to help support our community. And so as we think about what we're proud of, those are, many, many things that we've been proud of over the last year. The big question, well, what's next? What else we have a lot to do that we can continue to be proud of. As I mentioned, we have a new council member. So we welcome 2 new city council members this year, Ward 3 Councilman Marcus Epps and Ward 7 Councilwoman Maria Jukic, who is here. And council has dedicated themselves to two committees that are new. One is around sustainability and really wanting to look at what are we doing to support sustainable energy, support our climate and our environment in a responsible way. And so we look forward to working with Councilwoman McIntosh around that effort. And then Councilman Brian Moore has initiated a Euclid Avenue Revitalization Committee so that we really can take that whole corridor and try to improve it, make it and really what it should be to support not only the residents that live there, but the many businesses and workers who visit every day. And so anyone interested in working with that and with Councilman Moore on that, please let him know. I'm sure he would be happy for your certainly input and assistance. In the police department, with the promotion of Captain Hauser, we're recreating really an emphasis and a priority on our community services and working to put in a grant for 3 new officers and working to bring back our community response unit. So really wanting to give attention and priority to our community policing efforts, our community relations efforts, our training, our hiring, and really our interaction with the community. And so I appreciate Captain Hauser's efforts and initiatives in that regard. The census is in 2020, and so I want to thank and acknowledge the library, Casey Armstrong and Ashley Gowans, who really have taken the lead for our county and working with our county complete count committee to make sure everybody is counted, and that's so critical. So how you can help us make sure we're spreading the word and sharing information about that, we would certainly appreciate. We have an exciting development proposal, and I left there is a packet on your table if you want to get a little bit more information, but we have a development proposal for Celebration Village at Providence Park. And this would represent a $160 million investment in vacant property that is the old Hillendale. So it's south of Euclid Avenue to the east of the Euclid Medical Building. It's about an 80-acre parcel with some other pieces combined. It would be a 55 and older retirement resort community. So a gated community. It would include residential properties of different dimensions, some villas, some apartments, some small piece of memory care and assisted living. But their model is built off of projects they have built in Atlanta that is really surrounding a celebration of life. And so it incorporates not only health and wellness and fitness, but really offering people a way to live in a neighborhood, live with other seniors, and really live an exciting life. So this is working its way through City Council and the school board. We're hoping that this is a project that can help continue the transformation of Euclid Avenue. We will continue to build on our waterfront trail, and so we really are looking forward to beginning construction on phase 2, which is the eastern end and the park that will go with that. Really excited to be working with the Chamber of Commerce and Sheila taking the lead on developing a downtown improvement district in downtown Euclid. And so this is the opportunity for businesses that are there and property owners really to come together to commit some funds to doing things like joint security and joint events, and really an effort to grow and continue to make downtown Euclid a strong and vibrant business district. We're working hard to look at our facilities. Our facilities are aging, and so we're asking City Council for the authority on Monday to begin a planning process to replace our police and fire stations. We have three fire stations, two of which were built in the late 50s and early 60s, and a police station that was built in 1951. Both first safety services have changed dramatically in that time. I think all of those buildings were built when we had much less staff, many fewer calls, and business, that service is provided in such a different way today. And so we're excited to look at how do we work towards a plan that we're able to provide our safety forces with modern facilities that really will enhance their ability to serve our community and keep our community safe. And then, of course, we want to continue the conversations, the community events, and really celebrating and building the pride that we all have in our community. And so with that, I look to you to invite us out to be part of your events and let us know, share the good news that's happening here in the city, and really be part of this effort to build Euclid pride back. We're looking forward this year, some things that we'll be able to do is brand new opening of Euclid High School and Middle School for the next school year. Cutting the ribbon and cutting the ribbon for the Waterfront Trail's official opening. Working to welcome Consolidated Precision Products and working with you to support your business growth. Well, please stay, and if you have not finish eat, but make sure you take the time to introduce yourself to somebody who you don't know. And thank you once again to the Chamber. Thank you for being part of the Chamber, because it really is an important part of our community and helps strengthen our efforts of growing our business space. So thank you again to Sheila. Thank you all for coming, and have a great day.